So what do you dedicate your time to? And or when do you dedicate your time to plant trees? Now that you are a flight attendant and all those things that you have mentioned.
Okay, you know, when you're passionate about something, you will always create time for it. For me, trees are everything. Even my friends, they always tell me, "Hey, wewe na miti," it's something else. Some of them even call me Mama Miti. So whenever I'm off, I have to balance my time. There are so many things that I need to do, but also I create time for trees. So on my off days, that's when I do it. Sometimes I go to schools, and sometimes when I travel to visit maybe my relatives, I always carry trees in my car. There is someone who supplies me with the trees. I have their number, so whenever I want trees, I call them, I tell them I need this number of trees, and they prepare them for me. So when I get there, I just pick them and go.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. So what motivates you to plant trees?
Uh, what motivated me is when I was a little girl, where I was living with my grandmother because she's the one who raised me when I was small before I joined my mom. There were so many trees, and my grandmother is also very passionate about trees. She's still alive at 95 years old. If you want to do an interview with her, I can take you there. So there were so many trees, and she's the one who was planting them.
Wow, it's great to hear that this is almost a generational thing.
Yes, it is.
And I'm glad that you have reached her expectations and even maybe exceeding her expectation. Now tell me, have you encountered any challenges during your tree planting period?
The challenges that I can talk about maybe financial, because all these trees, I don't get them from anywhere for free. I buy them myself. But for me, this is a way of giving back to the society. So I don't feel like it's a burden, but at the same time, if there is somewhere I can get these trees for free, I would really appreciate, and I'd be a vessel to transport them to whoever needs them to plant. Yeah.
Wow, so now that you have planted trees for several years, would you say, is there any one thing that you would be very proud of when you walk into a place and find these are the trees I planted? Is there a place where you like walking to and admiring what you have done?
Oh yes. Like one of the schools, Mehango Secondary School, and also my grandmother's place, my aunt's shambas. When I go there and I find the trees that I have planted, I even go there and take pictures with them, kissing the leaves and even holding the fruits, because these are the products of what I have done. And also, even in the neighborhood, I also encourage children to plant trees, because if I was not taught about these trees when I was young, I wouldn't know about it. So I also take it upon myself to teach the children, my daughters, the neighbors' kids. I also gather them sometimes. We plant trees together. I even tell them to adopt trees. This is your tree. This is your tree. Water it when it is during the sunny season. Make sure it is watered so that you don't just plant the tree and go and then leave it, because a tree is like a child. You have to take care of it. You have to nurture it so that that tree can grow. We don't only plant, we nurture to grow. So even now, right now, if we go to our neighborhood there, the children, they have all adopted trees. In our compound, we have trees, and they all have each one of them. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So what motivates you to keep on going?
I just love trees. I think it's just something in me. Sometimes I used to joke that if you cut me, sometimes you would think my blood is not red, it's green. But anyway, I'm joking. I just love trees, and when we go to places where we have trees, you see it is so peaceful, so tranquil, the serenity, the fresh air, the birds singing in the air. It's just something about them. And when you go where there are no trees, you find the environment is very different. You feel the harsh rays of the sun. you feel the dryness, the air is very dry. There's no that beauty, that nature is not there. That is what motivates me. So given an opportunity, we would really plant trees everywhere we could find a space to do so.
Wow, thank you very much. And in conclusion, I happen to be in a place where we plant trees, but we do not take it so seriously. According to you, do you think that the society, the government is doing enough to make sure that we have enough tree cover in our country? And what advice would you give the society and even the government on how we can make this country a green country?
The advice I would give is, for example, these people who do our roads, they are doing a good thing. We all want a good infrastructure. But then again, when we are paving way for these roads, we cut a lot of trees. So I would advise our government to make it upon everyone who is cutting a tree, at least to plant 2 or 3. Or if that is not the case, there is a levy that should be paid specifically to go for tree planting activities. And if it is for those people who are building the buildings, every day we wake up, there are trees which have been cut to make the ground for buildings. Every day you see tall cranes, buildings being coming up every other time. But then again, you cut a tree. What are you doing about replacing that tree? Because some of us are doing a lot of work planting these trees, and others are cutting them mercilessly. A tree that took tens of years to grow is brought to nothing in just a minute. And then these trees will take so long to grow again. But in everything, let us be like the hummingbird. Whatever the little effort you're doing, don't think you are doing nothing. Be sure it is making a positive change somewhere. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much. And to now conclude completely, please inspire us. We would like to feel inspired, just like the way you are inspired. What is your inspiration?
What I would like to tell you is, you see, for many people, they see like there are no benefits for planting trees. If today we were told, if you plant trees, you will be plucking money from those trees, I'm sure everyone would plant trees, even in their bedrooms. But that is not the case. Do not just be thinking about yourself as for now. Think about your generations, because every other time we are cutting these trees, what will become of our country or our earth in 10 years or 20 years? Just plant, because even our forefathers, they planted and we are reaping the benefits now. What I normally tell many people, because they want to reap benefits from these trees, if you just want to plant tree, just plant a fruit tree. If it's avocado, you're going to eat those fruits. If it's a mango tree, you're going to eat those mango trees when the time is right. And if it is macadamia, you can harvest them and sell them. So you'll get money eventually. If you want to plant a tree and you're not a tree person, just plant the fruit trees.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great. And thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Now that we are even in a garden full of trees,
Oh, yes.
we feel even inspired.
That's why I had to choose this place.
Wow.
It was very intentional.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.